This is the Wheeler Brothers General Store. It closed in 1968 after being in the family as a general store for over 100 years. It was closed up like a time capsule until the year 2001 when the store and all its contents was auctioned off.
I'm Bill Wheeler, William Wheeler. I'm the oldest son of Cy Wheeler that ran the grocery store on the corner of Main and Elm in Hubbardston, and the oldest of three boys. It's Maury. Is now 80. He's just passed away. And then my youngest brother, John. The whole family was raised above the store, and of course I've got all kinds of memories of the store. Many an evening after the store closed, they had circular chairs around that stove, and my mother used to let me go down in the store and listen to the fellas tell stories of where they were working. And John Fry, who was section foreman down on the B&M Railroad, he had the best stories. I always liked to hear him tell his stories.
During the war we bought yarn, had a lot of yarn. We were knitting and thread, ribbons, all kinds of sewing supplies.
All the penny stuff in there and all that. You could go in and buy the penny stuff, and it was, you know, like a real old-fashioned store. Yeah.
She used to bring her own jug, and then he would fill it for her, and dried beans and all that stuff, you know. Of course, we had a lot of pork and beans and molasses.
My brother Joseph, when he got married, he got his marriage license at Wheeler's store. I don't know if it was Mr. Wheeler or another man that gave it to him, but it was in that store. I remember it was in that store he got it.
He has 3 or 4 different brands of flour. And it according to the barrels. He put the same goddamn flour in each barrel. A lot of people would buy one brand that's they think it's great, better than the other, because it's all the same thing.
My mother would, when she got enough eggs, Cy would come, I think it was Wednesdays, he'd come take an order, and my mother would give him eggs to help pay for the order, and then he'd come and deliver on Friday.
He used to let me drive, you know, deliver groceries and go and take orders, you know, all over town. So that was something that I liked to do.
I drove for Wheeler's store a 1937 Chevrolet truck, put the orders up, deliver them before 12 o'clock. That was on the Barry Road.
Yeah, I drove the 37 Chevy, you know, deliver few orders, like to Noreen Wade or to Hazel Newcomb. Those are the only 2 that I recall. Yeah.
I remember when you first got that truck, Bill Green took all of us young fellows for a ride down around the Brigham Pond and back to the store.
My job was I had to sweep the floors every night after supper. I've got lots of memories of you know, things that went on, and especially people that used to be around the old stove there.
Maury Morrison asked me to go in one day. So I walked in the back door. I said to Morrison, I says, my God, Morrison, you haven't even touched the baskets that we used to put orders in. They were hanging on the ceiling, and the cans were all the same. I don't think they had touched anything in that store.
Here's a picture of my sister and I buying penny candy at the Wheeler store. I was 4 years old and my sister was 8 years old, and we used to walk to the store from my grandmother's house. She lived right across the street.
My mother used to send me up there to get black Formosa oolong tea, and I hated to say that. I thought that was the awfulest thing to remember to say. So my friend Marion and I would go up to Si's to get the tea. And I'd tell Si what I wanted, and he'd say, what? Because he knew I hated to say it. He'd make me say it and repeat it. And what was that? And I'd have to repeat it again. I thought that was terrible. I had this kind of a tongue twister.
I remember stopping at the Wheeler store. I had to walk by there when I went home. I was stopping for some penny candy, and Silas Wheeler would try a few words of Finnish on the Finn kids.
Yeah.
I heard us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that.
Yeah,
And a few other words. Of course there were no swear words, not there.
Not there. But all the Finn kids would teach us other kids the naughty Finn words. We didn't know, of course we didn't know what we were saying, but they'd teach us.
And that's the way it was.